Next, Rocky Erickson. This is If You Have Ghosts. If You Have Ghosts. Now, I'd not heard this till this morning. This is brilliant. It's great. How did you hear it? Was this heard it in the studio?
It was, I first heard it when we drove from Los Angeles to the desert.
How much better does probably all music sound if you're driving through the desert?
It did make anything good, yeah. But that's what I mean. That's why they're more memorable, because it seemed like you were listening to it for more of a reason than just in your car.
Yeah, I went to the Joshua Tree Desert where the band James were doing a video, and I'd been sent out by the NME to interview them, and just had an old-fashioned Walkman on, like a cassette Walkman, while I was waiting my turn. And you're just standing in the middle of all this expanse. All of a sudden, everything you're playing is a film soundtrack. It's your own
definitely.
film.
Yeah, it's great.
Excited. When you listen back to your own album now, because obviously there's so many pieces, we've been finding now there's so many different pieces to it. Does it make more sense now how you ended up where you ended up?
It seems like this record seems like one that I could still listen to now all the way through without cringing at any bits. But I don't know if that's just because it's still quite new to us, or because it is kind of like the one that we've got most right so far or something. I don't know. Even when I play certain ones, I can picture exactly where we were when we recorded it. Like certain songs, I can remember exactly what I were wearing and what I were looking at in the studio and stuff. It's weird, but
it has been your entire year, hasn't it? If you started writing it in January, it's when somebody says to you in years to come, 2009. Remember 2009? You just go humbug.
It will, yeah. That's it. But
it's been you had to live with this record.
Much. Because we started recording it September last year, and we did October, and because then we went on tour and finished it at the beginning of the year. So then, ever since then, it's just, that's just been it. But it's been good, though.
Apart from, you took a break at one point to, because you were involved in the Tramlines Festival in Sheffield. And one of the bands who played where you were DJing that night is the band we're going to play next. This is 80s Matchbox Beeline Disaster, and after that we'll have some Eagles of Death Metal. So 80s Matchbox Beeline Disaster, Rise of the Eagles, followed by Eagles of Death Metal, Kiss the Devil. Eagles of Death Metal, before we go back to that 80s Matchbox tune, nice link by the way, thanks very much mate. They're touring with you.
Yeah.
Are they good company?
Amazing.
Fantastic, yeah.
It is the perfect band to have around.
Just really entertaining, great band to open up and just get everyone really excited.
Even people that have never heard them, it's the kind of band that they can just have you win you over kind of thing. They're amazing musicians as well, so it's good to watch them and you learn something every day sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And Eagles, that's Eagles of Death Metal. 80s Matchbox played, as I say, at the Tramlines gig where you were DJing. Had you been a fan of them for?
Yeah, we all had. I think we watched them years ago when we were probably starting out.
When we were 16 and we all went to Leeds Festival. They played.
Yeah. And that was probably before we'd started the band sort of thing.
And what is it about them? Because again, it's quite a dark sound. I mean, we're going back to sort of, not the birthday party, but it's got that sort of Crampsy thing.
Yeah, it's just very exciting to us, I think. It's just there's a lot of kind of anger in there, but not in a, not in a depressing way. It's excitement and anger.
So next, Sabbath. Now, we staged the first ever Heavy Metal World Cup last week, so I'm going to try you out on some of the ties in a second, but first, Black Sabbath. So it's Black Sabbath, as mentioned, we ran the Heavy Metal World Cup on Six Music last week. Just before we talk about the Sabs, specifically, tell me who's the best, because these were some of the ties, right, in the quarterfinals. So, Anthrax or Iron Maiden, who's the best?
Maiden.
I'd just say Maiden,
Motorhead or AC/DC?
AC/DC.
You had to think about that,
actually,
that is quite a difficult one.
It's a tough one because.
So these were the semi-finals then. Slayer versus Iron Maiden. I think we know where we're going there. Right. Black Sabbath or Motorhead? Who's the best?
Sabbath for me.
Yeah.
Sabbath.
Okay, and you're right so far. The final, when we eventually got to it, Iron Maiden and or Sabbath. Black Sabbath. Who's the best?
It's Sabbath.
I think Sabbath
again. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Not just because we're just into that, keep saying that, but I thought I'd have gone with Sabbath.
How on earth did you get into Black Sabbath? Was this a metal phase, or were you going to have your metal phase now?
I think it's Jamie is.
He's big into it at the moment. Yeah. I think he'd always heard Paranoid and War Pigs and stuff, and it was one of them that you'd probably, I don't know, you'd listen to it and it were kind of the accessible ones, like when you weren't really into anything like that. But then you get deeper into it and you're like, there's loads of amazing parts to them, and like melodies, like what you want, like people who hadn't give it a chance, you probably wouldn't expect it to have like good, like you'd say heavy metal and they'd be like, well, no, it's not going to really have any good melodies or whatever, but it definitely has, like, especially Ozzy knows where to put it.
And when you know that, say, one of the band like Jamie is getting into, I say, somebody like Black Sabbath, are you then aware of that influence sort of seeping, even, you know, subconsciously into the music? I mean, can you say look on the album and go, yeah, actually that's
the metal one. Yeah. I don't know, there's bits like I think about a lot of it, like this time on the record there's a lot more guitar, like solos and stuff, but a lot of that were down to Josh kind of encouraging them to like work on themselves more, rather than, I don't know if it was because they just didn't feel like they were ready to do solos before, or they just felt a bit funny doing them, but he was kind of like, look, I think you should do it, I think you should just go for it and be a guitar hero.
Do you think in a couple of years' time we'll look back at this year and think that was the year we grew up in the studio?
Yeah, but I think we'll probably look back at it in the way that was when we grew up for a year and then go really immature.
And then went back again, like we did work experience as grown-ups.
That's what I want to remember it as.
I don't want to grow up. Well, no, I mean I don't want to grow up, but I don't want to look as if I'm going to keep growing up now. Maybe I can like plateau for a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Still 23. You know.
It has gone very quickly this half hour. We're virtually out of time. Are you itching to get back and do more now, though, after that record? Because I imagine once now you've sort of opened the door to something else that you can do.
That's it. Yeah. There's definitely that kind of got me more into doing studio stuff like from before, because this were more of a studio experience. Like first record were done quick and it would just like get in and press record sort of thing. But this one we're kind of thinking about sounds more and trying loads of different stuff, so it kind of got me into that sort of stuff more. And we're already talking about when we can record again, but I still enjoy being on tour as well. Like you have a lot of fun on tour.
It's just so long though, isn't it? It's so long. If you have to go and do all the tours,
that's it. Yeah.
You know, you're thinking. I mean, I suppose with the diary full, you've got to be looking at September before September before you can get back in the studio again.
That's it. Yeah, but I mean, it's good to have that time though to work stuff out, and then at least you can kind of start doing your quality control before and like actually record what you think's decent, rather than recording hundreds of songs and then finding out you only like 10 of them or whatever.
So, I mean, the other thing I suppose is it's just where you go and live a bit more life. It's like media, you have to have something to write about, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
And also go around and hear some more music as well.
Plenty more to find.
A lot of the stuff which we've pplayed now, probably that will be 2009 next year.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your last year's record collection.
Who knows what we'll
have a new awkward bag for you next time.
Well, it's been a pleasure. What is your, by the way, what is your pre-match routine then from through the evening? If you're on at 9, what time do you like to be at the venue early? No.
Yeah, I like being there all day. Just playing ping pong.
Yeah, we've got big into ping pong.
Ping pong table on tour. Yeah. I mean, the do arenas, you get a room for ping pong these days. but yeah, played a lot of that.
Who's king of table tennis within the?
Has he put his hand up?
It's pretty close, but there's Amit Paul that beats everyone.
But he's not a good sportsman, so
he's a bad winner.
It's not a pleasure. It's not a pleasure to play with.
Such thing as a bad winner.
Takes the fun out of it.
The hands of indignation are being thrown up next.
I just like to play, Steve. It's just fun for me.
Olympics coming up. Do you reckon?
Yeah, 2012. There's time.
Maybe Paul, if he sorts his attitude.
Maybe if we back the bid, we'll do it in 2018 or whatever. No, that's not going to be Olympics. World Cup.
And no room yet for Spinal Tap style tantrums. We haven't had a tantrum on this tour yet.
No.
You're nearly big enough. You're nearly at the point where you have to have a tantrum.
I know, yeah. But now there's pressure on to have a tantrum.
I'm just waiting for a really good subject.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my tantrum.
Well, listen, have a good gig tonight and for the rest of the tour. Thank you very much for coming in.